Let's go ahead and bring in Congressman Jim Jordan here with us of Ohio.
Yep.
We have had JD on the show a bunch of times over the past several years, but you know him really well because he won a hard-fought Ohio Senate race. For people out there who do not know JD Vance, how would you introduce him to the audience? And do you feel like, maybe more importantly, I'm going to win any stake bets, or is Buck just going to run the table here?
Buck's going to run the table, I think.
Jim is a smart guy.
I think JD is he's the American story.
Yeah.
A kid from the humblest of beginnings to now, I think, going to be vice president of the greatest nation in history, and he's only 40 years old. This is America. I mean, this is, and I think Buck's exactly right. This is someone President Trump can relate to, likes. And I think everything you guys have said, I agree with. Never, the old adage, never hurts to have smart people in charge.
Yeah.
President Trump is one smart guy. You guys have been around. I've gotten to know him over the 8 years. One smart guy. JD Vance is one smart guy. Watch him on Meet the Press a week ago Sunday when the left-wing press is coming after him, and he handled it so well. Right demeanor, right answers. I mean, it was just really good. And then there's a political perspective. You've said this, Clay. It's a Big Ten election.
Yes.
Right? And here's a guy from Ohio State who is...
Only thing I can say bad about him, we're in Wisconsin right now. I know there's a lot of Badgers who feel that way.
I'm
a lot
a
of
Badger.
Michigan. I'm married to a Michigan girl, so I got to... you went to Wisconsin.
I love the Badgers.
Can I just say, Jim, I'd never been exposed before to all the Big Ten smack talking about SEC until I came to Milwaukee, and now I'm learning.
So I think everyone says this is Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin is going to decide this.
That's right.
JD, I think, is perfect to go talk to the folks and in a relatable, powerful way. Talk to those voters.
And I'm just going to say that's going to determine most likely, I think, the outcome in the election overall. And while there was a lot of talk, I think, about, well, what about, and I disagree with this in principle, and I don't like when Republicans do this. They go, well, what about a woman? What about a minority? We just want the best people, right? For everything always. A woman, a minority, or not, doesn't matter, shouldn't matter to us. And if you actually look at, I think, what will be the deciding factor in those important states, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, it's going to be mostly white working class voters, I think, that determine the outcome.
Yeah, I think President Trump has already changed our party, but I think we're now a party where we always should have been. We're a populist party rooted in conservative principle. That's where I think the Republican Party should have been. President Trump and JD Vance are that. And I think it's why Ohio, which used to be the bellwether state, is now Trump Republican state.
Red.
It is that.
I remember when Ohio and Florida were everything.
Yeah,
and now they're
it was
red.
Now it's, he won it by 8.5 and 16, 8.5 and 20. I think he's going to win it by more. And if he wins it by more, Bernie Moreno is our next senator. I mean, that I think is really helpful as well.
You don't think there's going to be a lot of split voters it would take 10% basically of voters, if you're right, and I think you are, that Trump's going to win by Ohio by at least 10.
There's going to be some, but I don't think 10%.
Yeah.
There are going to be some. And Sherrod Brown's hoping it's going to be, but he's tough to beat, but Bernie Moreno is a good candidate. I've campaigned with him. He is good on the stump, and he's a JD Vance type of guy, young, sharp guy who I think relates to the voter. I think he can win.
Well, what do you think about that seat that's opened up now with JD, or will be opening up, hopefully, with JD?
Well, look, Governor DeWine, he'll pick somebody.
Wow.
It's a good answer. There will be
a
a
good
senator.
Senator. All right.
I am focused on. I was in Minneapolis on Saturday when we got the tragic news of what was going on in Pennsylvania, campaigning with our colleagues. I'm focused on helping Republicans win. Our Senate candidate in Ohio, Dave McCormick's a great candidate in Pennsylvania. We've campaigned with him. We're trying to help candidates win and help President Trump and JD win at the top of the ticket and do our job as chairman of the Judiciary Committee. We got a lot of work to do. In fact, we got Chris Wray coming in front of us next week.
You're going to stick with us for the next segment if that works. Okay, We'll come back. We'll continue with you. I want to ask whether you see kind of a little bit of a teaser here as we go to break. Do you think Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania will move in tandem, or do you see those states potentially breaking off? We'll ask about that and more when we come back. We are live in Milwaukee with Congressman Jim Jordan. We had a great dinner with him last night. And I asked this question. We got a couple of things here to hit you with. 16 Trump wins, breaks the blue wall, wins Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, obviously Ohio, your home state. 20 flips back. It seems like the only pathway right now, if you look at the map, for Biden is to win all three of those states. Do you think it's likely that all three of those states move in tandem, or do you think they break up? How do you see it right now,
I mean,
about 3.5 months
yeah, the short
out?
answer is who knows, but I do think there's so many similarities. In each of those, we have a good Senate candidate running against a long-term incumbent Democrat senator who sort of defied the odds in some ways, like Sherrod Brown in particular. Well, I guess Ohio not the same as Michigan, but you got similarities in those 4 states, I'll say. So I do think there's a chance they come our way and all go together. I mean, right now President Trump's winning, but Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, Arizona, he's winning every one.
That's right.
Every swing state. I think we can win them all.
We want to put you on the hot seat here because we love making predictions. And Clay's got me in the prediction mode for all these things now, which, I'm not going to lie, doing pretty well so far. But in terms of the House, super thin margin right now, razor thin margin. We all know that. What does, in your mind, a great but achievable Republican pickup look like, number-wise?
Oh, if we could pick up a dozen seats, that changes everything.
If a dozen,
you
you think
pick up a
that's
dozen.
That's high fives all around? You're happy?
Yeah, I think so because, we're just divided, unfortunately, and the way these things get drawn, it's. But I think if we could do that, it makes it much easier to run the House when you got 2 or 3 seat majority like we've been functioning. It's been difficult.
And what are some of the key races as you see it for some of your Republican colleagues?
we gotta start to win back some of these suburban seats. We used to have suburban Chicago seats, suburban Minneapolis seats, suburban Kansas City seats. We used to have some of those, and we got to start winning some of those back. And I think in an interesting way, or maybe different way, but I think JD helps us both with working class voters and with suburban. I think his wife can help us with that dynamic. I think
They read Hillbilly Elegy. A lot of women read Hillbilly Elegy.
Yeah, but it was a great book.
Yeah.
You can put it down once you start. So I think there's a lot of things that can help us, but we got to start winning back some of those type of seats. And we got 2 good pickup opportunities in Ohio. Talk about working class Toledo seat. Marcy Kaptur's had that seat for like 600 years. And we got a chance to win that with a good candidate there. The seat in Akron, I think we can win with Kevin Coughlin. So we got some seats we can pick up in our state.
FBI. This crazy situation that they allowed Trump to be shot from 120 yards away. Now the FBI, which is trying to put, through the Department of Justice, Donald Trump in prison for the rest of his life, is also simultaneously supposed to be trustworthy and investigating what happened there. Is that tenable? Is that conflict acceptable? How in the world do we resolve
I think
it?
just the fact you raise it, and you represent millions of Americans who have that same skepticism, I think is a concern. And so I tried to express that yesterday when we got a briefing yesterday from the FBI, ranking member Nadler, myself, and some of our staff. I tried to express that concern that I think is very valid. There's in my mind, one fundamental question. There's a finite number of buildings in that area where a bad guy could get on top of and do what happened. It's probably not 100 buildings. It's probably not 10. It may be 3, 4, 5. And one of those buildings was occupied by the good guys, right?
Yes.
So how did you not know that the other, let's say 3 buildings, how were they not secured? Because I'm no expert in all this, but all the experts I've talked to or heard say that was the key problem.
Well, Congressman, I would offer that this is a situation where non-experts know.
Yes.
Anybody knows.
Great point.
That you
Great point,
know what I mean?
Buck.
I mean, if this was a shot taken from 1,000 yards out, from behind cover, that somebody who was really good trained marksman, you'd say, look, they got to be able to handle that threat too. This was the most straightforward threat imaginable.
Yeah. It was the closest building, I think.
Yes.
I think the closest proximity.
If you were picking where the president would be in danger from a shot that wasn't in his immediate vicinity, it would be the building where they took the shot.
I want to talk to the local officer. I'd like to talk to him.
The one who climbed up to the roof.
The one who climbed up. Then I also want to talk to the good guy, the sniper who took out the bad guy.
Yeah.
When did he know? How did he see? How many minutes or seconds did he know that this guy was bad? Those seem to be 2 important people we need to talk to. And again, to your point, the FBI is supposedly going to talk to him.
Do we trust it? Yeah, that's
I'd
a real question.
I'd like our committee to talk to him.
Yeah,
frankly.
I agree. I would too.
Congressman Jim Jordan, everybody. Congressman, always good to see you. Thanks so much.
Good to see you guys. Thanks so much.
You don't have to look far, because here in Milwaukee, you can find lots and lots of fans of the My Pillow company. Their products are well thought of. In fact, I saw Mike here, Mike Lindell. He's the man. We love Mike. They're handing out My Slippers products to those of us walking miles every day. That's what they should be doing at least. And look, most of their best-selling products right now at MyPillow are on sale. They've got an ongoing extravaganza at MyPillow.com. The magic of the sale has to be the $25 price tag that is on so many of their products right now. You can save hundreds of dollars right now by buying their new sets of MyPillow Giza cotton sheets. The Giza Dream sheets are amazing. The My Towels. I mean, honestly, just go outfit your home. You need updated stuff, even if you have old MyPillow stuff. Get new ones. And if you got other stuff, you got to get MyPillow stuff. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener special square. The My Slippers, $25 a pair right now. MyPillow.com. Click on radio listener.